It is not easy to find a good property agent, but if you know how to do so and manage to find one or a few of them, I can guarantee you that it will be a very rewarding experience. Again, I would like to remind you that I have one full chapter in my book to talk about working with property agents, tips and tricks. And in my workshop and online course, I also have a session on dealing with property agents. You may like to refer to my book or online course for more details. Before we start, please like this video, share it with anyone who will find the topic interesting, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. How do you find good agents? For many people, it is the first time they find a property agent to help. So it's just like going for blind dates. You never know who you will bump into. To find a good agent, you need to go through a lot of trial and error. As they say, you need to kiss a few frogs to find a prince. Let me clarify with 3 don'ts first. Firstly, don't use anyone out of convenience. Don't pick anyone from an ad or a promotional leaflet. Secondly, and most important of all, don't use anyone just because the person is a relative, a friend, or an ex-colleague. Trust me, a pure business relationship is always less complicated. Because if you know that person, you will get emotional. When you get upset, you say something like, hey, you are my relative, right? You are supposed to be on my side. So are you helping me or are you helping the other party? And after the incident, you still have to see each other again. For example, you have to see your relative during Chinese New Year or Happy Waya. And you really don't want to lose a friend just because you use your friend as a property agent. Don't use anyone you don't feel comfortable dealing with. Imagine you have to follow that person going for house viewings. And if you're selling your place, you are asking a stranger to bring more strangers to view your home. If there is no trust or rapport, whatever the agent say, you don't know whether to trust him or not. What are the 3 do's? Do use someone whom you feel you can trust. When there is trust, there is business. Do use someone with strong recommendations from a reliable source. Always check references. Do use someone who knows his stuff. Make yourself up to speed first with what is happening in the market, the valuation, the project details, and everything in the neighborhood. You can casually ask your agent related questions to see whether the answers are correct and whether they make good sense to you. Okay, let me share with you some personal tips of finding an agent. Whether you're buying or selling your home, one tip that I want to share with you is you have to record all the property viewings in an Excel spreadsheet. Put down the agent's name and contact number at the end of every entry. Or what you can do is you can put down the date and remarks at the back of the agent's name card. Why? Because this is to avoid viewing the same unit or house again, because you don't want the embarrassment and you don't want to waste each other's time. Another benefit is that you can refer back to the file later and refresh your memory of the experience dealing with the agent. I have many stories and my fair share of experiences meeting both good and bad agents. I contact them for property listings. After property viewings, I often stay behind and find a few agents in the common areas. Now I'll go and talk to them. I have arranged open house before so that I can get more agents' contacts. I started renting a place in 1998 and I began buying condos since 2002. So it is not until 2005 that I finally find a good agent whom I have happily engaged her service and worked with her over the years. So because for my case, I believe working with agents is not a one-off relationship with just 1 or 2 transactions. I'm looking for long-term relationship with somebody whom I could trust to handle my properties, be it renting it out, handling tenants, and selling my properties. So let me share with you the story how I find my agent. There's once I want to rent out my 1-bedroom unit at Kaki area. And there's one agent who came in with a client who is an expatriate working with an investment bank. I find her very different from all the other agents because she's very gracious, meticulous, and professional. And she's somebody that you really feel that you can trust. And after I went out my unit to that expatriate tenants. She handles all the tenants' inquiries, help me to fix things in between, and when it's time for renewal, help me with that. And after tenant left, she find another one. So that is before the handover. There's no vacant period in between. Somebody that I completely trust because I appreciate the fact that over the years, she always put my interest first, not her commission first. To me, professionalism, integrity, and honesty are above everything. So different people may have different definition of a good agent. That's why you can ask for recommendations from me, but just treat it as a reference. The most important thing is you need to find someone you can click with. Some people want to find an agent whom they can relate to, they feel comfortable chit-chat with. But for me, I prefer to talk business first, and we can talk more later if I can trust you and feel comfortable sharing more with you. So as my agent told me, I'm a landlord and owner who is calm, understanding, but I stick with my principles. So you have been reading my blog and following my YouTube channel, you know that I won't keep quiet if I know anyone who goes out there and trying to deceive other people. And just find somebody you can relate to and you can click with. Then you will have an enjoyable experience working with your property agent. How to tell good agents from bad ones? Actually, good agents are very easy to tell. They are very passionate. They have a burning fire in them, no matter how long they've been in the industry. How do you know that somebody is passionate? When you bring up a topic that they're interested in, their eyes brighten up. Like me, they really love properties. They're more interested to talk about properties, not just making a commission from you. So I have the experience of meeting a few very passionate agents throughout the years. I still remember one old uncle. He shared a lot of stories and experience about that particular project that we visit, the area, the district, then old stories about how people make money from properties and lose money in properties. Till today, I still remember some of the things that he said. Good agents are experienced and knowledgeable. So always ask questions to test their knowledge, especially about the market and the project. See whether they are correct. Good agents will make you feel very excited because they bring up something you don't know before or things that you have never thought of before. Good agents must be good in negotiation. I don't mean they have to win all the time. We all love to win, especially when we think we have an upper hand in something or it's legitimate for us to ask for something. A good agent can convince you to back off because he is fair and he targets for a win-win for both parties. He's always patient, calm, and has very high EQ. Good agents are trustworthy. They are honest. They never oversell or hard sell. They tell both pros and cons and let you make your own decision. They keep the word and deliver what they promise. The peace of mind they give you is often beyond money. Good agents, of course, have good reputation. It's not just Rena said this agent is good. Her clients also say the same thing. It's very easy to speak highly of yourself, but it's far better if someone else, especially the former client, speak highly of you. Bad agents are not difficult to tell too. They know no better than you. If that is the case, what is the point of engaging that service? Bad agents put their own interests before you. For example, they may push you to buy new launch projects because they offer higher commission of 5% compared with your 2% they will get from resale properties. Or they will keep selling you some specific projects that don't meet your requirement. I find it very unethical for people making commission from you if they're not putting your interest first. Bad agents, they glorify their past experience but fail to deliver. One important thing is past experience doesn't guarantee future results. If somebody is new to you, always give them a small task before offering them a big job. When there is any hiccup, the bad ones, they're always nowhere to be found. I have the experience of an agent after signing a tenancy contract and pocketing the commission. just disappear nowhere to be found, leaving me to deal with the difficult tenants alone. When it's time to renew the contract, you suddenly appear magically out of somewhere to get the commission of the renewal. Bad agents may press you to do something you are not comfortable with. A simple example is to ask you to compromise on an unreasonable offer so that the agent can close the deal. A more complicated case is to ask you to do something that is making use of a legal loophole. An experience I like to call is there's once an agent of the buyer asked me to inflate the selling price so that the buyer can get a higher housing loan. Don't be surprised, such cases are much more than you know. They may tell you that you are only doing somebody a favor. Don't believe in that, because if you get caught, you have no proof that this is not your idea in the first place, because you agreed to do so yourself. Once you smell something is not right, walk away from it and never look back. Sounds complicated? Let me try to use the method from Robert Kiyosaki's 2015 book, Second Chance for Your Money, Your Life, and Our World. A coin has three sides, right? The head, the tail, and the edge. Only if you learn how to stand on the edge, you can then be able to see both sides of the situation, to understand contrasting points of view and decide what is right for you. You can tell the differences between a good advisor or a lousy salesman from three simple things. First of all, a good advisor never shows you only the head or the tail of a coin. Instead, he shows you both sides of the coin and ensures that you are standing on the edge of the coin and see the full picture. Secondly, a good advisor never talks about only the good things. Instead, he presents to you objectively all the pros versus the cons, the usual practice versus alternate approach, the conventional thinking versus the hard truth, the media report versus the actual fact. Lastly, a good advisor never makes the decision for you. Instead, he shares with you everything you need to know. He makes sure that you are a well-informed buyer before leaving it to you to make your wise decision. Now you will know the differences between good agents and bad agents. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I still have a long list of topics that you guys want me to cover in my YouTube channel. I know many of you are thinking about upgrading from your HDB flat to a private home, or you are trying to buy your first condo. Let me try to talk more about how to look for your first private property and what type of homes that you should be buying or you shouldn't be buying in my next videos, okay? See you again then.